volume. And the more executives that you can create in there, the bigger your check. There's no limit to it. So that average income of $535,000, you know, we've got people making 10 times that. And my upline's right here just looking at me, and he's definitely been enjoying that. Now he's gotten over $40 million, Russ Carlin, Russ and Linda here. So when you're making a six-figure check, you want to know where it's coming from. About $100 to $200 is going to come from your distributor zone, and you know, get into executive. The upper limit for executives, they'll make about $2,000 a month. The average executive is making around $500 a month. But then for the people who are making these big checks, it's because they've become executive factories, and really ruby factories and blue diamond factories, and 98,000 of that $100,000 check comes from there. And that's where you get free, because you find people that are going to do this with or without you. So you get your 12. How does that huge income come from? Well, when you have 12, you know, the goal is to get to blue diamond with 12, and team elite is when you have 15 or more first level executives. And each of those executives are doing $3,000 a month. That's $36,000 a month. And you get 5% there. That's $1,800 a month. That's not $44,000 a month, right? That's called a pancake blue diamond or team elite. You want to work in groups of 4 and drive it deep. Another 4, drive it deep to get to diamond. Another 4, drive it deep to get to blue diamond. Another 4, drive it deep to get to team elite. Have a very stable organization. Truth of the matter is you only need to find one rock star as a blue diamond. So you have your 12 and find one person, and 90% of our blue diamonds make 95% of their income from one person that you may not even find yourself directly. I might sponsor someone who sponsors someone, and all the way down 7 or 8 generations comes a great person, and everyone else in between quits, and that person goes on to be a monster blue diamond. That's what happened to me. So stick in, don't quit, do whatever it takes to keep going until you find that locker. So out of your 12, you're going to find one of those that goes all the way to the top and becomes a blue diamond, and the other 11 on your first level will bring one each. So now you've got some depth, and you're going to make 1,800 plus 3,600, and then it duplicates deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. And within 6 generations, you literally have about over 500 executives there, and that's how you're making $100,000 a month. Now, you may not see yourself doing this right now, but you know what? The next person you recruit could do it. And as long as you're in the deal, you're an executive, and you don't quit, you keep going, that's how it works. So, another way of looking at it is as you are becoming, and you get to executive yourself, and as you are bringing new customers and distributors on board, you'll make 14 to 30%. You got distributors working, they're not yet executives, you'll make 9 to 25% on what they're doing. So they're good in your store, you're training them, you're mentoring them, and then when they're fully competent, they become executives, they start to have their own store. Now you make 5%. Why is that a good deal? Because it doesn't require you doing it anymore. You have now duplicated yourself. So let's go into this in a little bit more detail. I hope you can see that. So we're going to go through this in a little bit more detail now. Distributors. I have a lot more time than I thought, or either I was supposed to have 20 minutes, and now the clock says I have more than 20 minutes. So I don't really know where I am in terms of time. But so distributors, remember that's the starting point. And for those of you who are new here today and you want to do this business, just tell the person that I'm here and I'm ready to start. And remember that you can, as a distributor, get 5% on your first level. That's it. You want to get paid on all the people that come in behind the people you bring in. You got to get to executive. What are the other things that you can earn as a distributor? If the guys in the back, if you can fix the display because we're not seeing the top line, if you can just kind of shrink the image a little bit, you can also make 30%. You're buying at wholesale and you're selling at retail. And they have something called kit bonuses. So we have a good, better, best program. So in our little flip charts, we have the good, better, best. And when you sell these, you bought them at wholesale, you can sell them at retail, but you'll also, when it's reordered, you can get a $75 to $150 kit bonus, depending on which you buy. And the getting to executive requires a qualification period. And basically, in your first step, you want to do 1,000 volume minimum between yourself and the people you bring in. And the second step is 1,500, and the third step is 2,000. Another presentation a little bit later this afternoon is going to give this to you in detail, called the the Ruby duplication model. And when you have $4,500 of volume created, you're an executive. And guess what? You don't have to wait 3 months. You can do it in 1 day. You can do it in 2 days. The faster, the better. Now you're an executive and you move over. And you've got your own store. It's like your anti-aging franchise. And you get all of these benefits, 5% on your first level, 30% retail profit margin on when you buy wholesale, sell retail, and those kit bonuses. And you also are going to get 9 to 25%. The bigger your volume, the bigger the percentage. So then as this starts to duplicate, and it can duplicate really pretty quickly. So one of the things that you get paid on in your circle group is you're now an executive. You get paid on your own order. That 9 to 25% is on your PV. PV stands for your personal volume. And we have a saying, no PV in TV. So when you do this business, you want to focus and you want to make some sacrifices like TV, right? Because that's not going to make you any money. You also get paid on your customers. You get to count your customers, and you get to pay, count your distributors, and your distributors' customers, your distributors, and your qualifying executives. All the people going through that month 1, month 2, month 3. Just by show of hands, how many people here have gotten to the executive or above level? If you just raise your hands so everyone can see. It's not a hard thing. A lot of people do it, right? Very good. And so you want to have a minimum of $2,000 to $3,000 in your circle group to maintain the right to be an executive and get paid, and you're leveraging them. And you're going to make, on average about $500 a month. We say it's up to $1,000 that you can make on average. And now what you do is you go and you start to franchise. And you're a leader of executives. And really right from the start, my goal was to be Blue Diamond in 1 year. Why did I even have that vision? Because my mentor had actually did that and got to way beyond the average Blue Diamond income in 2 years. And there was Dr. Wong, Betty Sung, David and Connie Johnson, Russell and Linda Carlin that had caught that wave and that happened 20 years ago. And this special moment in time that we have here is going to absolutely dwarf that wave. Are you excited about that? All right, so here's some of those average incomes. And again, if you have the flip chart, you can show these average incomes. So when you're in Lapis, you have 2 executives, you make $16,000 a month. And this is called the goalpost compensation plan, those 2 vertical lines. So what you want to do is get good at etching this out. This one piece here. You can download it from One Team Global. When you have 4, you're a Ruby, you make $32,000 a year, and that's got a residual value of $3 million. It's an asset, right? Passive residual income. 6 executives, you're an Emerald, and then 8 executives, you're a Diamond. Now, you're doing all of that first steps. Most people do that part-time. And when you get to Blue Diamond at that $44,000 a month average, the trick is first to get to Ruby. Remember I said do it in 4s? Right? Because if you get 12, you're spinning plates so quickly, you're bringing people on so fast that they're falling off the back end. When I say work in 4s, 4 good ones, 4 that want to run. So you might have to sponsor, like Nathan said in the Friday night, 30 to 40 people to find over the course of that year. Half will quit right away. Unfortunately, half the people in this room won't be here next year. And the only person that can control that is who? The one in their seat, right? So it's going to be a seat that's going to propel you to change your life, or a seat of regret. We either have to endure the pain of discipline, which is really empowering, and it's sweet, because when you do things that move you forward, don't you feel good? Or the pain of regret, which is really, really awful. So I hope all of you just make that one simple decision not to quit. So we know that statistically 50% of rubies go all the way to Blue Diamond. How many of you are going to do that? Great, awesome. Actually the percentage has gone down to 40%. You know why? Because there's so many new rubies coming through now that it's incredible. Some people are doing this really, really quick. You do it, another time, you get to Team Elite. Now, we already have 700 plus people that have made at least $1 million, a new one every 5 to 6 days coming across, and as Nathan said, it's average, 1 year to Ruby, 2 years to Diamond with 8 first level and 3 years to Blue Diamond. And it usually takes 5 to 6 or 7 years to get that $44,000 a month to mature that organization. And this is how you're going to get out of that rat race, that 40-year plan that puts 95% out of that dead or dead broke. So we're going to create 2,500 new millionaires in this next 5 to 7 years, even if nobody in this room does it. It's already a done deal. So you can feel very safe and secure that if you really commit yourself, that this is going to work for you. Just don't quit. Now, as we say, 3 years average to Blue Diamond. So what is your probability? As long as you do the work and set those goals and whatnot, and you know what Charlie was saying about write it down. And I'm going to encourage all of you. How many of you have done this by show of hands? Filled this out and put it in and made your video. Okay, who has not yet done it? Okay, what are you waiting for, right? Do it. There is no risk. People are so afraid of setting goals. If you don't set a goal, you're not going to make it. And if you set a goal and you get partway there, isn't that a whole lot better than not at all? So do it. It really has power in it. So what's the